Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing the unpopular book opinions tag. Now I have no idea where this originally came from, but I know that I have seen Merphy Napier do this one, and I think I recently saw Elliot Brooks do it maybe? I'm not sure. I will link both channels below. I don't think that they are the originals. There's no telling where the original is now because I've been watching these for years. I just really love unpopular opinions. I think we can get more engaged and passionate when things are unpopular. So I'm really excited to do this one. The first question is a popular book that everyone loves but you don't love. For me, I did not enjoy The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is a grimdark book following this girl who's going through almost like this military academy sort of thing. And she is dealing with like a bunch of wars and stuff. And I think I read it in 2020 when it originally came out, but I just didn't like it. And honestly, I was expecting it to be darker than it was. I didn't really feel like it was super dark, and everyone was just like, "Oh my gosh, it's so dark." And I'm just like, "It's normal." Like, I don't know. But so I just didn't like it. I didn't much care for her, and then they introduced some characters later, and I just didn't really care. And so, yeah, I didn't like it. I also didn't like Black Prism by Brent Weeks. I just didn't care is the problem with this one. I really loved the story itself, and there were definitely some really good twists and turns in the story that I wasn't expecting, and I really enjoyed those. Just didn't care about the characters, and that was my problem. This one follows Kip and this other dude. I don't remember his name. I think I also read this one in like 2020, 2021. But you're following these people, and your magic is like light. And so it's different colors. And that kind of determines like your different abilities, I think, or something like that. It was a really cool concept. I just didn't care. And so I did finish the first one. I didn't fully focus on the ending because I just didn't care at that point. But I did finish it. But definitely not going to read the second one. Okay, so this one is a popular book that everyone hates that you love. So apparently, Beautiful Ugly has really low ratings. This is by Alice Feeney. This is that. This is the thriller that I read this year, and I just loved it. I loved the twists and turns. I loved following Grady's story as he's dealing with his grief of his wife being missing and him attempting to get his life together. So he goes to this island and it's all creepy and he's seeing his wife everywhere and he doesn't know if he's crazy or if the people are making him crazy. Like, I was all for it. But it was also my first thriller. So I don't know if that's just me being new to the genre or what. But I just loved it. But apparently not everybody else did. Another book that I kind of knew that other people weren't really going to like, but I loved it, is John Dies at the End by Jason Paragon. And so this one, we were following this guy, John, of course, and we're following his friend. I don't remember his friend's name, but we're also following this girl, Amy, I think is her name. And this book is so wild. Like, it is what I imagine an acid trip is like. Like, that's how wild and crazy this book is. Because you have like this black goo sort of thing. I picture like a venom, like the venom parasite. I picture that. And it will like attach to you, and then like all these weird things are happening. Like the dogs are talking, and you're seeing ghosts, and everything's just kind of wild. And it was a wild ride, and I just loved it. It was so wacky and weird, and it was a great time. Now, I didn't read the second one. I think there's 3, but I don't hear anybody talk about this book. I honestly found it because I saw the title, and then I liked the cover when I pulled it out. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And so it was wild. Like, there's no other description than it was wild. Okay, so this next one is a love triangle where the pairing that ended up was not the pairing that you wanted. And I I tried to think, and I don't read a lot of books with love triangles that I remember. So the only thing I could even think of was Twilight. So Twilight is my answer. I am Team Jacob all the way. You can come at me if you want to. I don't care. I love Jacob so much. Even though, like, as an adult and like I've watched some things about like both relationships were really toxic for her, still Team Jacob. Still, hands down. He's the best. A popular genre that you hardly ever reach for. This is so many. I don't read horror. I wish I could read horror. I love the idea of horror. I've read several Stephen King books and I just can't get into them. Who else did I try? It was horror. Although, I don't know. John Dies at the End is horror, but I don't know. It wasn't like scary horror. I don't know. I also don't read mystery, like cop detective sort of mysteries. I don't do a lot of those. I don't do any westerns either. Heck no. I also don't do a lot of science fiction. I just get lost in all the science stuff. It never fails. I have no idea what's going on. So I can't keep up when it comes to like science fiction. So I think of those that I'm most likely to attempt would be the horror if I could just find like the right author. I think that's what it is. I think I just need the right author and I will like it a lot better. Oh my gosh, so this one. A popular character that you don't like. And I'm going to have to go with Glocta from the first Law series. Oh, everyone loves him so much. And I don't get it. I don't get it. He, if you don't know, Glocta is a inquisitor, which means that he interrogates people to get the truth out of them. Sometimes it's the actual truth, sometimes it's just to shut you up. But he is a prisoner of war, so he's been on the receiving end of this torture, and so now he's dealing out this torture. And he is in a position in life where he just hates everything, he hates everybody, and I mean, you can't really blame him, okay? He's very much a crippled. He has a hard time even walking or moving, and just, I mean, he was tortured, like brutally tortured. And so everything kind of sucks. And he's in a position in his career where he is high enough up that he's very respected, but he's also not high enough that he can actually like speak his mind. And I think that that's the part that everyone really likes about him, because he'll say something snarky in his head and then he'll say something like that he's supposed to say to whoever he's talking to. And I think that that's a big reason why a lot of people really like him, because his voice is very distinctive. But I just don't care. You know, I don't. Yeah, you were tortured. Sorry. You know, yeah, you hate life, and I think that that's the thing that I don't like so much, is because he just hates everything so much. He is so angry at everything and everybody. You know, whereas like you've got other characters in that series who have been like constantly engaged in war and war and war and fighting for their lives constantly, and they're just like, you know, you got to be part of a team and you got to create good relationships with the people you're working with, you know, otherwise you're not going to survive, you know, and like you've got the other side of that. And I'm just like, I just don't like him. Popular author that you can't get into, which would be Stephen King for me. I can't get it. I've DNF'd more books of his than I have fully completed. I think the only book that I've completed, oh no, I completed Green Mile and Pet Sematary. I think those are the only two that I've completed. Maybe Shawshank Redemption? I don't remember. I've seen the movie. But I DNF'd it, DNF The Shining, DNF Under the Dome. What else did I try? I think I tried another one, and I just gave up. And so I really think that he's not a good author for me. Popular book trope that I'm tired of seeing. I don't really care about tropes. They don't really bother me too much. I mostly don't gravitate toward like certain like subgenres. Like I don't like fairies. If it's got a fairy in it, I'm automatically putting it up. I'm not going to read it. Things like that, or what get me a little bit faster than like the actual tropes. but I don't like time loops. Oh, I hate time loops or anything to do with like time travel. I don't care. I don't want to go back in time. Exception, exception. The Last Magician, we went back in time, and I think that's the only one that I've liked. And then there was one that I liked of the time loop, which was Lynn Painter's The Do Over. I liked those, but I don't even like the idea of a time loop. Groundhog Day, never watched it because I don't care. One of my least favorite episodes of Supernatural has a time loop in it. Can't do it. Don't want to do it. I also don't like Prophecies a ton. Just because I don't want to read it. Like, I just want to skip it. So I don't really care. Number 8 is a popular book series that you don't have any interest in reading. And for me, that would be The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. It's a bit of a mystery, I think, is what I've heard and read. And I don't really care about mysteries. And I honestly didn't really like his Boundary Side series. I know it has a different name, but I don't remember what it was. But I didn't really like it very much. I've heard a lot of YouTubers talking about The Tainted Cup, and it just doesn't seem like something I would want to read. Like, I'm just not interested. And so I'm just not going to read it. Okay, and then this last question is a movie that is better than the book. And I actually have like 3 of these. A Walk to Remember is definitely better than the book. And I don't know if that's just because of the fact that I watched the movie first, and that's why I love it more than the book. Also, the same thing with like The Devil Wears Prada. I recently read the book, and the book was great, but I love the movie more, and I think that that is because of the fact that I watched the movie first. Now, The Maze Runner. I read the book and then watched the movie and still like the movie more because the whole ending in Maze Runner I thought was stupid. I I thought it was a little too, what's the word, contrived. And the movie fixed the thing that I was complaining about with the book. And so definitely like the movie a whole lot better. But anyway, so that's the end of the tag. What are some of your answers to these questions? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.